Ms. Rachel? Call to order?
Mayor.
Yes.
Autumn.
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah. Yes. Justin.
Yes.
Jason.
Yes, ma'am.
Stand for prayer. Father, we come to you again tonight, and we thank you for the opportunity to serve our city in this capacity. Father, I pray that you would bless every person in this room and their families. Father, I pray that you would grant us with wisdom and discernment and give us the ability to make decisions that are best for the city regardless of personal opinions, Father. In Jesus' name, amen. Pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Item number 5, consideration and action on consent agenda. Anybody?
Make a motion to approve consent agenda.
I'll second.
Justin.
Yes.
Jason.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Autumn. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Public appearances, petitions, communications, and personal appearances. Under Oklahoma law, the city commission members are prohibited from discussing or taking any action not on items that are not on today's agenda. Excuse me. Anybody? Number 7. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to read and approve proclamation declaring March 19th through March 25th, 2023 as National Safe Place Week. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Am I up already?
Already.
Ready.
Barely made it.
We get to see you again.
Yes, good to see you. Are do we read it or I just go ahead and talk about it for a minute?
We can talk about it.
Yes.
We all have a copy, but if you want to, it's whatever you're.
Oh, yeah. I'll just talk about the program for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm Angie Freeney. I am with Penn County Youth Services, and we have done this for many years now. National Safe Place Week is Sunday through all of next week. So we do proclamations in Stillwater and Perkins and Cushing, declaring it National Safe Place Week. I'll just tell you a little bit about our agency. We celebrated 50 years last year. All of our services have always been free, still are. And we really focus on youth, 6th through 12th grade, although we do have programs for younger and a little bit older. We do a lot of counseling at our office, and we go to the schools in all 6 communities of Penn County every week and provide counseling. The Safe Place program is also very much related to our youth shelter on 32nd Street in Stillwater. Our emergency youth shelter is licensed for age 7 to 17, which also means that age can also utilize Safe Place. So for anyone that's not familiar with Safe Place, we have 55 sites throughout Penn County, with several here in Perkins. Police department, fire department, middle school, high school, Perkins Drug, Perkins Dental. I don't want to forget one.
On cue, maybe?
On cue, yes. Yes, right, you're right. I should know by now. So several here in town. And then lots in Stillwater. We also have them in Cushing, Yale, Ripley, and Glencoe. So basically what Safe Place is just all these sites are trained to know what to do if a young person comes into their facility and says they need help or they need Safe Place. They all follow the exact same 8 procedures, and pretty much is calling us and letting us know that they have a young person there accessing Safe Place. If it's something unsafe at home, then they're going to come to our shelter, and that kind of starts a process in itself. We make DHS reports, and they can't have any contact with their parents until a judge allows that, basically. So as you can imagine, we have some really not so nice phone calls with some parents. Now, if there's not something unsafe at home, and for example, they were just walked into an arm queue and said, I think someone's following me, or I'm with a friend who's been drinking, things like that, then we just ask the sites to help them make the phone call to get home or whatever they need to do. So it's a great program. It's a national program celebrating 40 years. Started in Louisville, Kentucky, and that's still where the national office is. I think there is 120,000 sites across the country.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in 42 states. We are, Stillwater, Payne County is one of 4 counties in Oklahoma that still have it, still have Safe Place. 4 or 5 due to funding cuts and that type of thing. So we also do lots of different groups and all kinds of stuff. So does anybody have any questions?
Last time you were here, you were low on staff. Has your staffing been increased? You were
Yes,
training people?
thank goodness. We're fully staffed at the shelter.
Good.
We went through a period where we had to close for a little bit, yeah, which is terrible. We've never, ever had to do that, so that was really hard. But we got those kiddos back and hired, I want to say 10 new staff.
That's awesome.
Still looking for a couple of counselors, if anybody knows of one. Other than that, we are staffed pretty well.
I sure thank you for coming again.
Thank
Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Rochelle, can we do a quick picture?
If that's okay with the mayor. Mayor?
What is this all about?
You are all dressed up.
You do look really nice.
You got your phone? You want me to do it
I
on
do.
I had an inclining.
Remember last time we realized that Mayor and my husband went to school together.
That's right.
He was ornerier than me.
I told him, he said that.
He was.
He didn't agree.
He didn't?
Are they twins?
I could still be.
He said you were always yelling at your little brothers.
I was.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
Would you want to sign this now and we
I
can?
sure can. So she can have it? There you go. Tell Dwayne I said hello.
I will, thanks.
Okay.
I have no idea what you just said.
Oh, no. Well, that's not good.
You want to activate Safe Place?
Thank you. Okay, appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Item agenda number 8, consideration, discussion, and possible action. Read and approve proclamation declaring April 2023 as World Autism Month.
I don't think there's a representative here for this one. I don't think there's a representative here for this one.
I'm sure this is probably pretty near and dear to a few of us sitting up here on the board, so on the commission. So do you want me to read it or just make a motion to approve it?
Action on the last one.
Didn't read it either.
I was okay with that.
Can we move back to item number 7?
Yes. Oh, we didn't make a motion.
And, yeah, motion to adopt or approve the proclamation?
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation declaring March 19th to 25th, 2023 as National Safe Place Week.
Second?
Thank you for catching that.
Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah? Yes. Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Taking the picture threw me off. Do you want me to reread number 8?
That's up to you. Oh, you mean the agenda item? Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Okay. Consideration, discussion, and possible action, read and approve proclamation declaring April 2023 as World Autism Month.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to read it, or?
It's whatever possible action you want to do.
Answer your phone.
I'd like to just make a motion to approve it,
A second.
Oh, okay. Call me when you get through.
to put it up at all the schools.
Mayor?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Number 9, consideration, discussion, and possible action to read and approve proclamation declaring April 15th, 2023 as Frank Eaton Day in the city of Perkins. So the family has a,
That's Wendell Sadler's birthday.
Yeah, this is a request proclamation from the Eaton family, specifically Dow Wise. They have their family reunion every year. It's kinda covered in there.
make a motion that we approve proclamation declaring April 15th, 2023 as Frank Eaton Day in the city of Perkins.
Second. You were tandem.
I was third on that for sure.
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah?
Yes.
Yes.
Bless you.
Number 10, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding sales tax incentive agreement with Beasley Technology Incorporated, a franchise of Dunkin' Donuts Franchising LLC.
The agreement was completed pursuant to the last meeting. It calls for 33% of the city's sales taxes generated by the company over 7 years up to $150,000, whichever occurs first. And then on the other side of it, the development, they're going to spend an approximate amount of $1 million and generate estimated annual revenues of $600,000 to $700,000. They're going to try to create 20 jobs, and then it is in here that they will maintain a minimum of 15 employees and that they will begin operation on or before April 1st, 2024. Mr. Beasley has agreed verbally to this agreement should the commission approve it.
Very exciting.
Commissioner
I'm good with it.
Henry?
I make a motion to approve the sales tax incentive agreement with Beasley Technology.
I'll second. Sarah?
Yes.
Autumn? Yes, ma'am. Mayor?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 11, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve or deny permit for an animal or fowl pen at 323 Northwest 2nd Street. Is Courtwright? Did you want to say anything?
I'm just here to answer any questions you guys might have about my property.
Sir?
I've got property in that area, and I want to know what the limitations are on these.
Come to the podium and tell us what your name is, your address.
I've got property in the general area.
You've got 5 minutes to talk to us.
Well, I just want to know what the limitations are on
Gary, can you say your name and address?
Gary Hoover, 408 Northwest 2nd. I own property at 30 something, right in that same block. And I want to know what the limitations are on this animal or fowl pen.
Is it a residential property that you own?
Mine is, yes. I also own property at 203 West Chantry, which is within a block of that address.
So how far, is there, you said there's a residence on the 307 lot?
307. I think it's 30. It's right there on the corner of French and Second. It's on the corner, and there's only 3 houses in that block.
Right. But are you
Don't know about
I don't know where 323 is, but it can't be far.
100 feet away?
Huh?
Are you 100 feet, is your property 100 feet away from 323?
Probably.
What's the address, Gary?
Mine is 30, that's where you threw what's her name out, 3 on the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Is 323 the corner house
Yes.
on the southwest corner?
Yes.
And I just wondered,
Who lives there now?
in that 2-story house,
Yeah.
I think there's a school teacher here in town that bought that property. I may be mistaken,
Did you say 323 West Chantry?
northwest.
Northwest Chantry?
I've got 203 West Chantry, which is a block away.
So I don't think it's within 100 feet.
No,
No, right?
no.
Okay.
But I have property at 408 Northwest Second, 410 Northwest Second, and 303
303 probably.
Northwest Second, which, you know, 100 foot's not very far. City lots. And I just wondered if there's gonna be a limitation
Not
on
less
this.
than 150, sorry, 150 feet from the dwelling.
I'm not,
100 feet.
I'm not trying to put it down, I just wanna know if there's a limitation on, can I have 500 hens and 2 roosters? Can I have 6 dogs and 4 cats? Is there a limitation?
There is.
You know, Bob?
Yes, there is limitations. It's in the code. And there's also a size requirement that they're gonna start to consider where they're supposed to be, I don't know, something like 150 square feet per animal or something like that.
Well, most places you can't have roosters in town. I just wondered about this deal.
I don't know that our code specifically talks about the sex of the bird.
It does not. I couldn't.
It doesn't even identify the breed of the bird.
Sir, who's talking? I hear noises.
The code that I read doesn't even identify the breed of the bird, like turkey versus chicken versus duck. I might be mistaken.
It says chickens, pigeons, and other like fowl.
Yeah.
So that's telling you.
Horses, mules, donkeys, cows, sheep, or goats.
I'm not allowed.
Right.
But is there a limitation on the number of,
Without a permit from the city commission.
I'm sorry?
Without a permit from the city commission. It
The
has to-
limitation is there's got to be suitable enclosure. Space has been erected for the safekeeping of such animals or fowl, and each such enclosure or pens shall be substantially erected on the ground area of not less than 900 square feet per each fowl pen, and not less than 1,500 square feet per animal, and it can't be situated not less than 150 feet from any dwelling.
Okay.
So if this is granted, then the permit, I think, specifically states what it's for.
This is just the application. I couldn't
She
find
wants-
a permit, like what the permit looks
The
like.
permit application.
The application. There are,
It says miniature goat, 5 chickens, and rabbits.
and I counted 6 chickens. And almost 30 rabbits.
There were 24 rabbits.
And adding,
City staff members wrote down 26.
Sir,
Y'all can't talk to each other.
just address the condition.
I'm sorry.
And if you're
First
done-
time here.
Yeah, and if
You
you're,
can tell.
and I believe your 5 minutes is up, but we've heard you. And we're gonna go on and discuss what's next.
mighty fine.
But,
I'm not opposing, I just want to know if there's a
there
limitation.
is, and we're gonna.
Address that.
We sure are, sir. Thank you for coming. Okay, so according to the map and the measurements, the property is not big enough for, this permit to be granted, is that correct?
I believe that's correct. Based on the math and the ordinance and the math, when you need nearly 45,000, well, 24 rabbits times 15, whatever that is, it's close to an acre. An acre's 43,560 square feet, so.
And that's not even close to an acre.
Yeah. That might, well, it says on there, it's a third, it says 3/10 of an acre. I don't know, but-
Application.
In the email received, they only wrote down that they were happy with chickens, but nothing about rabbits or goats. And we're supposed to have the permit application granted and given permission before we have the animals on our property.
Right, I apologize, I wasn't aware of that before, and in retrospect, I understand the rule.
Yeah.
Any other commissioners?
I don't think there's enough space for the animals that are there.
Is this for business purposes that you're raising these animals?
No. Just pets. Well, the chickens provide eggs, but the rabbits and the goat are just pets. The goat is like a dog.
You already have the goat?
Yes, ma'am. She's a year old.
Commissioner Henniger?
How many chickens do you have?
At the time of the application, I believe I wrote down 4 or 5, and I gained 2 temporarily, but I don't plan to keep them.
Do you have a goat?
Yes. She's about 30 pounds.
Do you have, how many rabbits?
24.
And what do you do with the rabbits?
Just love them.
What are the size of the rabbit pens?
3 foot by 4 foot, most of them. They're hand built, so that's, I forget the math.
12 square feet.
Yeah.
They're stacked right next to each other? On top of each other? Have you complied with the cleaning up the manure regularly?
Yes, I do it every week.
It's supposed to be done twice a week. It's supposed to be cleaned regularly, kept in a separate receptacle, properly covered, which shall be removed at least twice a week, or whenever directed by the health officer or other officials of the city. So that's another one of my concerns, is the amount of feces and
Yes.
the surrounding smell.
I remove it.
What happens if the permit's not granted?
Like for the rabbits or the goat, they'll have to be euthanized because I have no other options.
Can you give me just a second?
Third.
That's a
Oh, no,
third.
that's a third.
Okay,
That's the
so,
same thing.
so. Did she actually provide a site plan, or is it?
Yeah, well, did you draw this?
I know I saw it.
What's on the back? Shannon drew, or
Shannon drew. So it's not.
oh, it's 68 foot. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because there's a fence right here, so there's this much space here, this.
I can't read those.
You can? Okay.
one word that is very important.
I think two, that would allow for two. 2250 square feet would allow for two foul, right?
Well, yes, but this is to check this, are you talking about current setup?
No, on this,
Because that's the rabbit pen right now.
oh, it is, you're right, so they would just be out in the yard? Okay, so that would be 100 in the rabbit pen? And 1,500 square feet? We're just working on whether you could just deny the permit and let her reapply when she can comply with the ordinance? Or if you wanted to allow her to, if you wanna feel safe about that she is in compliance and authorize X number of fowl or animals, you could do that, it's your
Okay,
call.
I don't understand this.
But
How could you have, if you have
I'd
to
rather just
1,500 square feet per chicken?
Deny it and let her
900 square foot.
do the math and figure out what she can
No, we have to-
acceptably have in her house and then
Well, then we're
reapply
talking about chickens.
the correct
Or
numbers.
using the 900,
That's my opinion, but
so
per
it's,
each fowl.
so 900 square feet per chicken.
I don't have a problem with her having it. It's just, we have rules for a reason. And it's, I don't feel like it's our job to tell her what she should have. That's her job to figure that out based off the code that we currently have, in my opinion. I can be swayed, like always.
They'd be swayed.
I can. Good argument, absolutely. The application isn't, based on the application, I would deny it. There's 20-something rabbits, and all it says here is rabbits, and then I look at these pictures, and we have this rabbit operation.
I drove by. A lot. It's not clean.
She was
I
continuing.
don't think that we need to be managing animals to be kept under these circumstances.
I mean, I don't care,
It's a mess.
but she's violating.
And that's not a shelter, that's not what's the word? A suitable
Make a motion, or are
enclosure.
you still?
You need a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we deny the permit for the animal or fowl pen on 323 Northwest 2nd Street.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, Autumn, I don't know why I had a moment. Your motion again was to
Deny the permit for the animal or fowl pen at 323 Northwest 2nd Street.
I'll second it.
for me?
Mayor?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
May I say something to Ms. Courtwright?
Yes.
I don't feel the need to tell you what to do at all, but I would suggest that instead of euthanizing you, look for rehomes or for auction. There's an auction on Highway 177 way into town.
Yes, ma'am, I bought several of them there 3 years ago. They were being sold as meat, and that's why I have them, to prevent them from being eaten.
Well, I wish you the best, and I hope that you get it worked out and figured out.
And you can also reapply if you can comply with the ordinance.
The ordinance is structured such that you're required to comply before you bring the animals in.
Sorry, it's probably not the time. I don't understand how I don't understand the code, how it says you have to have 900 square feet, and then it says you have to have 1,500 per animal, because that's contradictory.
talk with Shannon, Shannon can talk with me and Bob, and we can, well, you know, if you're in a position where you're applying before you bring in the animals. That's the process.
Do you have a copy of it?
The
ordinance?
code?
Mhm.
No, I read it online. Also, I was not aware that rabbits were a part of it because it wasn't specifically in the code when I read it. So that's obvious. That's why I brought the rabbits. I wasn't aware they were in the code.
It's not considered a domestic animal.
All right. Like she said, speak with Shannon and see if she could get you figured out how to reapply and be under the proper code. Okay? Again, good luck to you. All right. Item agenda number 12. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve contract with Central Oklahoma Economic Development District to receive the 2022-2023 Rural Economic Action Plan, or the REAP grant, in the amount of $61,220.44 for the purchase of generators to be installed at 2 water wells.
This is the contract that we do every year if we receive the REAP grant, to formalize it with the Council of Governments, co-ed.
This is just good news. This is good news. This will go a long way to help.
Generators on the 2 main water wells that we use. The generators are several months out because everybody, I don't know why, but
Everything's pretty much months out, isn't
we
it?
may not be eligible for the REAP grant next year through co-ed or this year, because I would expect we'll still be waiting on our generators.
So that prevents us from,
Yeah, you have to have it closed out to apply for the next one.
okay. I make a motion that, well, I'm sorry, Commissioners, anybody have anything to say? Okay.
Go right ahead.
I make a motion to approve the contract with co-ed to receive the REAP grant in the amount of $61,220.44 for the purchase of generators. She was staring at you. Rachel was.
I was waiting on it.
Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Item agenda 13, consideration, discussion, and possible action to allow the maintenance agreement with Signaltech to expire by non-renewal as of June 30th, 2023.
This is on my recommendation that I don't even know if it requires action, but we had a Signaltech agreement for maintenance where they would come out and look at everything, and then shortly after they were here, we lost power, and I realized 2 of our inverters didn't work for backup power, and I contacted them, and we probably didn't agree on how all that went down, so they came to give us a quote, and it was higher than another vendor. And part of this agreement is they do maintenance, and then we're cut a little deal, a little break in pricing, and it didn't seem to work out that way to me.
That was, what, January or December?
I talked about
November, December, something like that. I do remember that.
Commissioners?
Make a motion to allow the maintenance agreement with Signaltech to expire by non-renewal as of June 30th, 2023.
I'll second.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve agreement with did I say that, Axon? Axon, okay. Enterprises Incorporated for the Police Department body cameras and tasers. The storage video of over 5 years for a total of $63,298.50.
We've had Axon cameras for 10 years. We were probably the first agency in Payne County to get body cameras, but this would be the third time, basically the third time we've done a 5-year agreement. And what the agreement does is allows you to bundle equipment, and then every 2.5 years you get new equipment as they come out with new versions. It's already factored in, and they send us the new equipment, docking stations and cameras, and or tasers, as it's described in the agreement.
The taser part is new?
For us, well, no, we had tasers, we had the X-26 tasers, and Commissioner Henniger can jump in, he's an instructor. But the X-26 is, we had some officers that wanted them, some officers that didn't want them. Through attrition, most officers ended up not carrying them for whatever reason, and then the X-26 became obsolete. So they come out with a newer, better version here by this, and it's better, and we haven't been able to do that yet. And now we're comfortable enough that we believe we can do that. And they'll all be required to carry them, and they'll go through training on
And
the
y'all have to get tased, don't they?
Yes.
And you're training them?
Yes.
Good for you, sir. Thank you. And this is a lot of reading.
By the way, the legal department would oppose anyone volunteering to get tased.
What if they sign a waiver?
No.
Still no. Still a hard pass.
What if it's
Comes
not,
up.
what if it's not voluntary?
I'll be the first one not to volunteer.
If it's a job requirement, I'm good with it.
It's risky.
It really is. I've been there.
Anybody, anything?
I'll take
Too
it.
old to get
Okay,
tased.
I make a motion to approve agreement with Axon Enterprises Incorporated for police department body cameras and tasers and the storage of video over 5 years for a total of $63,298.50.
I'll second.
Yeah, you do.
Sarah,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Autumn. Yes, ma'am. Jason.
Yes, ma'am.
Number 15, consideration, discussion, and possible action to open bids for fire department 47 self-contained breathing apparatuses, cylinders valued at $4,000.
We did not receive any bids.
Okay. So that, no action?
Correct.
16, consideration, huh? Oh, I thought you said something. I'm hearing things. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to award bid for 47 self-contained breathing apparatuses, cylinders valued at $4,000. No action?
How long has the bid been out?
Since the last meeting?
Do I need to read the next one too? Yes. Okay. 17, consideration, discussion, and possible action to authorize the city manager to dispose of 47 self-contained breathing apparatuses, cylinders, goodness, valued at $4,000. So is this just a surplus out?
Yeah, this will allow us to sell them in a different manner, donate them to an agency that needs them and wants them or something like that.
Good deal. I make a motion that we authorize the city manager to dispose of 47 self-contained breathing apparatuses valued at $4,000.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Autumn. Yes, ma'am. Justin,
Yes.
Jason.
Yes.
Number 18, consideration, discussion, and possible action to select Goodman Automation and Maintenance as vendor for the purchase of a supervisory control and data acquisition system for the wastewater treatment plant at a cost of $60,025.64, utilizing the American Rescue Act Plan funds, subject to acceptable contract.
This, the contract is actually complete and in your packet, and Goodman has agreed to it.
It's not in the packet.
Oh,
It is-
Never mind, the
it was
contract is not
complete
in your
As
packet.
of this afternoon.
Um,
or yes-
Just the information.
Summary.
The SCADA system is the brain of the wastewater treatment plant. Our current SCADA system is 13 years old and unreliable and way out of date. So this is a little bit of an unforeseen, we've had little issues and been able to work with it, but now the software and the hardware are both going bad. And it severely hinders operations and treatment. So this would fix that and upgrade us, and we have the money to do it.
When will we be able to do it?
He's planning on getting here, I think, in the next week or two. There will be some parts that he's ordered before, and it took 6 months. And then he ordered them again, and it took 30 days, and then the next time it took 6 months. So we're just gonna try to communicate and get by the best we can until then. But I think he'll have the ability to route things so they work temporarily until we get the final product.
And his company will help do that?
Yes. And James checked with references, and he comes highly recommended.
James, I for one appreciate all the work you've done. You just jumped in with both feet, so to speak, down there.
Yes.
And I just want to clarify that what's in your packet is their proposal that they stuck a signature page on, and that was not okay with me.
Right.
And so that is essentially the terms of the agreement, but as of late today, or early this morning or late yesterday, we do have a written contract. It's just not before you. So that's why when we were doing agenda language, I said subject to acceptable contract. So if you move to approve it subject to acceptable contract, we'll go ahead and bring, and as soon as it gets signed by Mr. Goodman, we'll have the mayor sign it.
So
It is substantially,
so the numbers could go up or down?
no, it's a,
It's just legally.
It's
Terms.
illegal, okay, gotcha.
just the terms. It's, in fact, it's, one of the legalese that I added was not to exceed the
Okay.
amount that you're approving.
Sounds good.
How long will the software be good for? Do we know?
The new one? Usually about 13 years. So we're at the end of life of what you guys have at this plant now.
Well, and hopefully we'll have the funding moving forward as things continue to grow to, get in
Continue.
6 years and start updating things and such.
It's like our phones, you know, you can have a Samsung S3,
It's then outdated.
it's not a 26.
Yeah.
And then when it breaks, you have to buy the 26.
Right.
That's right. Fun.
I like the fact they're local
Yeah. So what?
compared to the other two contracts. And
More extensive than just,
And we've actually been using him a little bit with our current SCADA system to fix things, and he's been very responsive.
good.
Yeah, I called him this morning because we had issues at the plant again with the SCADA system. And he had a tech out there within 3 hours. And it's been one of the fastest responses we've had.
Awesome.
There's another company that we've waited weeks for.
Congratulations.
any commissioners, anything else?
No, ma'am.
I make a motion that we select Goodman Automation and Maintenance as our vendor for the purchase of the SCADA system for the wastewater treatment plant at a cost of $60,025.64, using the American Rescue Plan Act funds, subject to acceptable contract by staff.
Second?
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Autumn,
Yes, ma'am.
Justin,
Yes.
Jason.
Yes, ma'am.
Number 19, consideration, discussion, and possible action to utilize American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA funds, in the amount of $12,252 for use as matching funds for the infrastructure grant awarded to Perkins Public Works Authority for the purchase of the HX30G vacuum system with trailer hydrovac from Ditch Witch of Oklahoma at a state contract price of $61,260.
This is the rig grant that we applied for through the Rural Water Association. We're awarded, and this is to cover the match. So, and here again, Ditch Witch is 5 or 6 months out on
That's standard anymore.
Oh, we can almost have one.
it's a geographical oddity. Yes. So,
Let's go build it. Let's just go build one, Jason.
If you build it, they'll come.
All righty? Jeez. I make a motion that we utilize the ARPA funds in the amount of $12,252 to use for the matching funds for the RIG grant going towards the Perkins Public Works Authority for the hydrovac vacuum system.
I'll second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Autumn?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
I still pause when you say mayor. Number 20. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve purchase order number 2303029 to Ditch Witch of Oklahoma for the purchase of the HSX30G vacuum system with trailer in the amount of $12,252.
I'll second.
She just called her, that wasn't a motion.
That's all right. I make a motion to approve the purchase order for the purchase of the hydrovac system in the amount of $12,252.
I second.
I knew it. Take time yet.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Just
Yes,
keeping
ma'am.
everybody on their toes. That's all.
Jeez.
Good one, Autumn, good one.
That's a touche, isn't it? All right, number 22. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to, oh,
21.
sorry, skipped it, didn't I? Goodness gracious. It's the day, isn't it? 21.
I don't even know what day it is.
Purchase order just left.
Consideration, discussion, and possible action to acknowledge resignation of Cole Graves as a representative from Perkins to the Western Payne County Ambulance Trust Authority. I make a motion to acknowledge the resignation of Cole Graves to the Western Payne County Ambulance Trust Authority.
I'll second.
Yeah, see, I just left it right out there. I didn't want that one.
Wasn't even a curveball either, just straight slow pitch.
Mayor?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Now, number 22. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to appoint Cassie Wilson as a representative from Perkins to the Western Payne County Ambulance Trust Authority. Mrs. Wilson has agreed to be on another committee for the city at the request of myself and Mr. Ernst. So,
Appreciate her.
yes, well, their meetings are at lunchtime on Wednesdays, once a month. So it's hard for
Anyone else?
anyone else to get there, but she's a realtor and can schedule around it.
I don't care.
Appreciate that
I
flexibility.
don't know if, most of us know her, right? I make a motion that we appoint Cassie Wilson as a representative from Perkins to the Western Payne County Ambulance Trust Authority.
I'll second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Number 23, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the fiscal year 2024 City of Perkins 5-year capital improvement plan. Mr. Ernst?
This is, a plan we go through every year, and the goal is to try to map out what's going to take place in the future, minus any unforeseen circumstances, kind of a planning document for capital expenditures. I do believe in, while we put as much stuff in there as we can, and then we move it to unfunded, we do try to keep it somewhat realistic. I mean, we could put in $10 million for water lines and $20 million for sewer lines, but I don't know that that's a very realistic approach. So some of that was recently taken out because that had been a request item in there. On the first part of it, for next fiscal year, is the current year not in here?
The current year is a separate
I don't know which everybody's looking at, but
The little skinny one.
This one
is
is
the current.
correct.
the current year is what we have done. And kind of what we have accomplished. And if there's, well, sort of, oh yeah. The first is what we have done, and then I guess it goes into fiscal year '24, which was also a bigger packet. And this is what we have planned after meeting with department heads and putting our heads together and trying to come up with a plan. This is what we have planned for fiscal year '24 in capital expenditures. And it's kind of broken out into capital outlay, capital improvement sales tax, and then public safety sales tax, because they're all separate funds, they're all different monies. And then we usually throw in some money, miscellaneous needs. If there's any questions, I mean, I can go through it line by line. I'm not sure how you want it. Who's had time to review it, and if there's specific questions, or if you want me to go through it line by line.
And I'm sorry, that 24 page in this one is a mistake. It shouldn't be in this one, because it's in the actual plan also. So my apologies, that was just, I got a piece of paper in the wrong place.
Did you say you were gonna,
Oh, I see.
are we getting a new packet?
Once you've approved
Once we
everything,
approve
then I'll
everything?
make it pretty, put the dividers in and
Okay.
the whole 9 yards. So it'll look like that one in your hand.
So basically what we do is drop off a year, add a year every year, and then somewhere in there, there's a list of accomplishments, or kind of where we've been, what we've done. This is for all the years?
No, just this year.
Is it in there?
No.
So you can kind of go through for the current year and see what we've done and where the money's gone and kind of where we're trying to get to. There is a lot, but we've made a lot of progress over the years. This document is a living document, meaning it's not approved tonight and then we don't look at it for another year. As things come up, things break, stuff at the plant, whatever, there's gonna be things that change. So it's a living document that could and probably will be brought before you in the future to add something, or if we find out we got a grant for something, we might want to move the, what money's allocated or how it's allocated.
Phenomenal work.
Yeah, Rachel keeps up with this, and we try to have, the department heads kind of drive this as much as anything as far as direction, because that's why they're in that position, is to know where they need to go. And then if there's issues, well, there's always an issue, and it's, we have $5 million in needs and $400,000 or whatever the math is. So then we have to get together, and this year I actually had police, fire, and emergency management get together because everybody wanted a whole lot of stuff and needed it. But we sat down as a group, so it wasn't just me being perceived as sitting in the office making the decisions, and we all talked about it, and the department heads came to an agreement, priorities, and what's, because there's different things that add into this. What's not included in this is the fire department sales tax monies that are at the county. They get a lot of county sales tax, so that's not necessarily included in our discussions for the purposes of this. But, I mean, it'll come in, the fire department, they can't go buy a vehicle for $60,000. Their vehicles are like several $100,000. So, and that's why that tax is there.
We've got a lot done this year.
Yes. Especially, sewer and water.
One of the things that may require, I'm going to talk about it because it's in the capital improvement plan on fiscal year '23 under expenditures, but it may require, well, it's possible, is SOC testing. at the Sonic well, which is on the third page of the small packet, $30,000. That's to test for synthetic organic compounds in our drinking water. So that money hasn't actually been expensed this year, but it will be, I think. If it's not, it'll be carried over to next year, but we work with DEQ on that. They actually do have a form that somebody from the city could complete and swear under oath that weed killer has not ever been used within, I don't know, a mile or some crazy thing of your water source. And then you don't have to do that. I won't sign that document, and, but apparently we're in the minority in Oklahoma. Do the testing, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Most of them, a lot of people sign that doc, and you have to attest to it for the last like 50 years. And one of the chemicals is glyphosate, which is Roundup,
It's Roundup.
and 2,4-D, which is
That's,
every farmer in the country has used. And we
Kill
have-
everything.
And we have a golf course.
2,4-D, a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah,
of
that's right.
that goes a long way.
you can't,
So it's expensive, and
I worry about you if you sign that paper.
Yeah, no, I told them I wouldn't sign it, so, but that's kind of a thing, and then, valves, we've done a lot of work at the sewer plant, we're doing a lot more work at the sewer plant. But this is the work of this isn't my work necessarily, I'm involved in some of it, but it's the work of the department heads, and then Rachel who keeps it all, categorized and keeps track of what we've done or what we're doing or things like that.
We have done work this year.
We decide what we can do and what the priorities are. And
Yeah.
And on top of that, all the grants that they applied to, and lots of work has been done.
Yeah, if you apply for grants, then you can show the need.
Well, we were saying that so much has been done this year on top of the workload of applying for grants and getting
Oh, yeah.
grants. You guys have been very busy. Lots of hard work.
It's a phenomenal job by staff. They're working together to get this accomplished. Great job.
Thank you.
I feel like he's saving our sewer for us right now. I've heard what you guys have been having to do.
Been busy.
From the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate what you and the other staff members are doing to keep our city going. And I just wish that the rest of the citizens knew exactly what you were doing and what you're having to go through so that they can flush a toilet and drink healthy water without it coming back up. And so I don't understand why people want to flush the things that they do and send down the drain the things that they do, because if they had to go out there one day and do your job, maybe a lot more people would stop doing what they're doing. Okay, so my soapbox on that one. So on this item agenda, it was just a discussion.
On fiscal year '24, we are budgeting,
What'd you say?
for fiscal year '24,
Okay, thank you.
It's in the big plan now.
Go ahead.
we're budgeting, the things we want to do are on that, what says fiscal year '24, page 1. We're wanting to, this will come through as part of the budget talk next month, but very much appropriate right now because it is the capital improvement plan. But if you read at the top, we're budgeting to receive $436,648 in capital improvement sales tax and interest earned. But we're also wanting to bring in $133,150 from surplus funds for savings to accomplish quite a bit next year, like the standpipe on Knipe Street, to totally redo it. And I mean, that was the big thing to bring that money in, I think, is to get that going.
Yeah, and the SCADA system's already Just the maintenance of it was on here.
Well, this, for next year, what we're wanting to do, and James, correct me if I'm wrong, but the SCADA system we're getting at the plant will have the ability to, or something like it, will be able to operate our water and water tank levels. So we could have a SCADA system where we could see and turn on and turn off water wells. Basically bring us into this century.
Remotely, are you saying we could do that remotely? Yeah, that's
Samsung.
what we need.
Unless you have the 3.
I'm out.
Okay,
You said your current, the one that was purchased earlier, has that capability?
Yes, yeah, we can, the new SCADA system is new enough and up to date that we can eventually work in all the wells, all of the standpipes, elevated tanks, and all of the lift stations throughout town will all be brought in one location where it can be seen from the plant. Capability of seeing it from your smartphone.
Without an upgrade?
To that one, yeah.
Okay, that was my,
Well, I mean, I think it would,
We'll have to upgrade our wells
there'd be,
technologies.
So there'll be some radios and some
Sure.
different controls and stuff put in, but it'd
the
be
main-
minor. The main
That's what
portion
I
of
was
it will
talking
already
about.
be at the plant.
yeah, the main.
I'm sure there's remote systems
Main
installed to make them connect to each
But then
other.
we could look at levels in lift stations, or if we get an alarm, we could look at, somebody could look at their phone and potentially see what the alarm is and reset the alarm if it's,
Okay. That would be amazing.
Thank you.
so we'd be able to, still on that first page, with Public Works, will we be able to, it says well houses, and does that include normal maintenance of well houses? Will we be able to maybe do some repairs on those or rebuild them?
well, we're wanting to rebuild them. I'm not sure where you're at there. Oh, you're on last year's.
I'm on 24.
Well, I know, but
gotta
it's
find
been
That
updated.
matches up, the
But
updated.
we wanted to build a new well house for well number 1,
Yes,
and it's on the list pending identification of funds right now. So that was kind of one of the, we know it needs to be done, but we don't, what do you prioritize, you know?
Oh, here's
Right.
the problem. No, wait, I'm in the wrong thing, that's the problem.
okay. So Tammy, what kind of action do we need to take on 23?
Approve or deny.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the fiscal year 2024, the capital improvement plan.
A second.
Or the entire capital improvement plan.
Well, that's what it's called, is this one here.
Physical year?
Oh, okay.
That's a guess my first.
Yes.
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 Yes, ma'am.
Number 24, consideration, discussion, and possible action to review letters of interest and select candidates for the Perkins Library Board, 2 advisory positions.
I think we actually have one letter that's in your packet. Am I
Elisa-
speaking out of turn?
Lisa Taft?
Yes.
Is it-
Is it in the packet though?
I think it came in after you,
It's towards the very end, in the big packet.
Oh.
In your hand.
I didn't print it out.
It's the one in your hand. She's referring to the packet that I uploaded to the Google Drive. I didn't have it then, but it's right here.
Okay, good.
I read it before online, so.
Here it is, okay.
Okay, so we move on to 25?
Well,
No?
Well, 20,
yeah, you got
I mean,
it.
25.
Yeah. Unless there's discussion about the letter.
Right. Any discussion on the letter? Okay.
So, can you move to select representative? You're
Yeah,
doing
the
that on the
next-
next one?
Because we like to have their name listed.
Okay.
25, consideration, discussion, and possible action to appoint Alyssa Taft to Perkins Library Board advisory position, term ending November 30th, 2023.
I'll make a motion to appoint Elisa Taft to the Perkins Library Board Advisory position, ending in November 30th, 2023.
I'll second.
Autumn? Yes, ma'am. Sarah?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
And we need to take that word advisor. To actually have control over stuff.
Let's ask Cassie to be.
It's a weird link of the board.
Number 26, consideration, discussion, and possible action to select a date for a special meeting for presentation, training, and discussion necessary for continued participation in the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group Recognition Program.
Can we wait till after budget season?
That'd be a fantastic idea, if you ask me.
18th? Yes. So I have spoken with David Weatherford, and he's available on July 18th, which is a Tuesday.
Is that after Rachel's
like
budget
the-
season?
That's like the day after budget season.
And is there another date?
I'm
She
fine.
gave me
I
that
think
day.
Sarah might be having.
Oh, you're fine with that?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine.
Yeah, she's-
Thank you. Thank you for being worried.
There could be, I mean, I could talk to David again if this doesn't work. I knew that we wanted to get it on your agenda and catch him before he gets scheduled to be somewhere else.
Okay. What time?
I put 6.
That
Does that work? Just because we normally meet at 6?
like 6.
But that's just a suggestion. So if you guys want to do that, you need a motion.
Everybody's calendar is clear.
I'm almost there.
I know.
Yes, I'm
I know, all the way to
looking at
July.
softball, making sure I'd be here.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm clear, I'll be here.
Okay. I make a motion to select a date of July, what did we say? 18th at 6 p.m. for a special meeting for presentation, training, and discussion necessary for our continued participation in the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group OMAG Recognition Program.
I'll second.
Sarah?
Yes?
Justin?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
I think right now might be a good time if we took a pause before I read 27. Is that okay?
Well, that or move, you're the mayor, absolutely. The other thing that could be done is after your pause, go to this Public Works meeting, and that would allow James, if he wants to leave,
I think that's a good idea.
but you could pause first. I'm not telling you what to do.
No, that's a great suggestion. Do what?
Nothing.
Unless James just wants to hang out, he may just be here.
Was here last month forever.
Well, the next one might be
That's
a
where all the
little
cool
long.
kids are.
So why don't you just recess this meeting?
Let's
And
do
we'll
that.
take a break and then come back and convene the next meeting?
Yes. I like that. Thank you.
Whiskey. I stopped the recorder.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna stand up.
Everything's still on.
I'm gonna run next door and get my glasses.
Yes.
It's challenging.
No, thank you. Hey.
I'm sorry, the other Sarah.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
There's some amazing food over there.
I'm gonna go get my water.
I said I was just gonna have a cookie, but I may have a brownie too.
Brownies, I'm a sucker for
There's
brownies.
this chocolate cake. You should see that. Did you get new glasses?
No, I just don't wear them very often.
Did you get a haircut?
I did get a haircut.
Yeah, I knew there was something, you're looking sharp.
I went with, visit Carla's husband.
Yeah?
She was cut before at the wedding.
For what?
I got a cut before a wedding.
Oh, okay. Why think you do that, or?
No.
Everything's still on.
Oh, that's cool.
Are we all still on?
Here's a former cop here. Before we stole him.
Trying to.
Uh-huh. I like it here.
Yep.
And that's so nice. I was just going for it.
Yeah, well, it's way past dinner time. Like, wait. I'm also gonna take this inside piece because
You can take whatever you
I have a
want.
little bit of it.
I'm back.
Oh, boy.
Oh, and Randy, my mom took me to the zoo up in,
Oh, I was quite entertained by the description earlier.
there's a zoo.
Does she live in town?
No, my mom lives over here.
Addresses and descriptions got me tickled.
It wasn't, so it wasn't a big truck. Really?
Pretty much, yeah.
Where?
It's just north of the state line.
Is that the
All
one
right.
with the free carousel?
I made it.
Gotta go there. That's cool.
How's your deal today?
Interesting for carousels.
Certainly.
Oh man, like if I were to win the lottery, the first thing I would do is not tell anybody and then go buy myself a carousel and I'd build a giant shop and stuff it in there and I
That
would,
wouldn't be obvious at all, but okay.
it wouldn't be obvious. Nobody would know and I'd only share it if I really wanted to. And I'd start all my days on a carousel ride.
Hey, we all have a thing.
Galveston? I rode that thing.
Janie is taking a break.
It was so much fun, Mom.
Well, you know, she
I told her
won
an hour
that
and a
thing.
half.
Okay.
She gets to go be in the opening number.
Oh. So it would be dance.
So Jordan will come catch.
So you have to be
What's
there.
this?
Hey,
Janie.
Mark, will you figure out how to?
She actually pitches better than Jordan than anybody.
So I'm pretty sure she's going to hit up some
That stands to
grandparents
reason.
today. You get it figured out, we'll play ball, but.
The other packet.
Oh, man. I love the cake.
I'll let him know. It's not going home with me.
Yes.
One time at school, I turned down kid's birthday cupcake in front of
Does probably need a cleanup.
Casey Steen. I said, no, I don't eat sweets. The kid walked off. I gave the kid half a birthday, you know. Casey looked at me. She never says a bad word. She looked at me. She's like, just take it. She goes, throw it away. And they're not.
I adore it.
Convened and moved to.
You could.
Carla, your husband does amazing work.
No, no.
Oh, here.
Oh, cake.
Hey, I got shrimp scampi from Sprouts the other day.
And then reconvene time.
That sounds really good.
Right.
Well, I got shrimp scampi at Charleston's over the weekend.
Ooh, Charleston's is amazing.
I don't know. She's like, you want to buy it? Yeah, I did. It's all noodles. She was like, this is shrimp. Oh, thank you for the
You
shrimp.
take mine, it's just a bowl of shrimp. There's no noodles, there's no filler food.
It's just shrimp. That's what, I mean, that's what we get it for. The shrimpies.
You ready to reconvene? Okay. But we will start.
I was distracted with my plate.
Okay, we will now move to the Perkins Public Works Authority regular meeting. Rachel, we need to reestablish a quorum.
I think I just need to call the roll for Public Works.
Okay.
Mayor?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Consideration and action on consent agenda.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah?
Yes.
Awesome. Number 4, public appearances, petitions, communications, and personal appearances. Under Oklahoma law, Perkins Public Works Authority board members are prohibited from discussing or taking any action on items not on today's agenda. Nobody. Okay. 5, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve purchase of Kubota excavator U-Series U17 VRA from Great Plains Kubota at a cost of $28,688.55 in place of the previous approved U25 4R1 model, utilizing capital improvement sales tax funds as included in the fiscal year 2023 capital improvement plan.
This agenda was previously approved for that U25 model.
That would, okay, so it's cheaper.
Well, the 17 is smaller,
Okay,
but available. The U25, they can't get them, and they don't know when they're gonna get them.
Does this still meet your needs?
Yeah, the 25 would dig down to 9 feet in depth, and it's a little heavier machine. The 17 will dig down to 7 feet, 6 or 7 feet in depth, which is, if we're gonna go down to 9 feet or more, we're probably gonna call somebody in with a track hoe and shoring equipment. And
Sure.
so I think it'll help them out, and it's a little smaller, a little more maneuverable. Both of them are, but basically, the big driver is we can actually get a 17.
like now.
Yeah. He assured me he was physically looking at one.
Because
Can you put your name on it?
It's so ironic this is on here because I saw a Kubota the other day. I looked at my husband and I went, we haven't got ours yet.
Yeah.
And then, this is why. I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the excavator U-Series U17 VRA utilizing capital improvement sales tax funds in the amount of $28,688.55.
Second?
Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Number 6, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding long-range water sustainability program rate analysis by Randy Clark, project manager, Oklahoma Rural Water Association.
Randy wasn't able to make it tonight. He's not done yet.
Oh, he's not finished with the analysis. Okay. Pass. Number 7, consideration, discussion, and possible action to declare an emergency regarding the failure of the wastewater treatment plant fine screen escalator on January 20th, 2023.
I completed a form. There's 2 ways to do the purchase, and we're going to cite both deals, but the escalator screen is in the headworks where all the raw sewage comes into the plant, and it's a screen that looks like an escalator at the mall, but it's got little holes in it, so it filters things other than human waste out of the sewage that are flushed down the toilet, so it doesn't clog our treatment process. That screen has been disabled, broken for a couple months or month or 2. We had a contractor come and look at it. It would have costed somewhere in the neighborhood of $78,000 to repair what we have, and we'd have a 30-day warranty. And if we buy a new one, it's $133,000 or whatever, but we get a 1-year warranty. If we try to go with different, there are different technologies that can accomplish the same goal. However, if we try to use a different technology, we have to go through the construction permitting process at DEQ, which is cumbersome and time-consuming even more. So this is integral to the treatment process because a lot of what we do, you can't do it with various objects floating in the water.
Would you do me a favor and tell the rest of the commissioners what you told me yesterday that our staff is doing, your staff is doing?
They're while the screen, the bar screen or fine screen is not there, they are having to manually rake the sewage at the plant to get as much, and your needles, wipes, rags, whatever, jewelry, I mean, whatever.
Haven't found any jewelry yet.
We have in the past. Somebody had a bad night. Old wedding ring. So,
What's the life expectancy if we replace it?
they say 13 years. We're at 13 years. We did have this, we had our existing screen rebuilt in 18 or 19, something like that. And it's a very, very, very harsh environment because the bearings and the gearbox, and a lot of it is submerged all the time. And this thing rotates and it never stops. So,
I appreciate you, staff, for what you're having to do.
I told you.
That is, thank you.
and the reason I guess I should have said, it is an emergency, but pursuant to the Competitive Bidding Act, it's over the $100,000 mark. But so we're declaring, my recommendation is to declare it an emergency, and then we'll talk about the other recommendation in the next agenda item.
I bet James recommends emergency too.
Yeah.
I make a motion to declare an emergency regarding the failure of the wastewater treatment plant fine screen escalator on January 20th, 2023.
I'll second that.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Consideration, discussion, and possible action to acknowledge that the replacement of the wastewater treatment plant fine screen escalator meets the definition of a sole source acquisition.
Where is the definition so I can read it to them? The definition is basically we can only get it from one place and we can only use one thing. So in state law, there's a part of the law that talks about, you don't have to comply with the Competitive Bidding Act if there's only one place that makes it. It's not in there. It's in the law.
It's a difference. I sent it to you.
It's in the law. But I can assure you it does meet the definition of a sole source acquisition.
Well,
I don't-
by what you wrote when you signed that paper, it's like, I don't like taking an oath of office around here. But,
And I guess in the next agenda item, we'll talk about the piece of paper.
okay,
Yes.
so,
I make a motion to acknowledge that the replacement of the wastewater treatment plant fine screen escalator meets the definition of a sole source acquisition.
I second it.
Sarah?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Number 9, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve the sole source certification form for the wastewater treatment plant fine screen escalator.
There's a form that comes out of state law that I put on a Word document. It's in your packet somewhere. And basically describes, the whole point of bidding is trying to get the best deal for your money. There's one company that sells this specific piece of equipment in Oklahoma by contract. We can't get it anywhere else. I actually called the company, John Munier, they're located in Canada, and when they answer the phone, they speak in French. That's
Je m'appelle Chantal.
crazy enough. It's still by American Steel because they ship the parts to the United States. I found that out, and then somebody
Oh, go ahead.
in a state assembles it, and that makes it by American.
Right.
I thought that was kind of clever.
Can you speak French?
No.
No.
I make
And
a,
let me just back up a little bit, like, and make sure you know the big picture. The Oklahoma Competitive Bidding Act requires you to bid out for public construction projects. Anything that costs over $100,000, this costs over $100,000. There are exceptions where you are not required to bid it and go through the process. One of them is if you've declared an emergency. The other is if there's a sole source. And so in this situation, Bob and I talked and we feel like it meets both. And so we're just gonna have you do both. And that's why this is structured the way it is today.
Cover all of our bases.
So we're gonna ask you to do both.
I think so.
I make a motion to approve the sole source certification form for the wastewater treatment plant fine screen escalator.
I'll second that.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Autumn,
Yes, ma'am.
Justin.
Yes.
Number 10, consideration, discussion, and possible action to authorize expenditure in the amount of $138,732 to Haynes Equipment Company to replace the wastewater treatment plant fine screen escalator utilizing prior year surplus funds.
It's just taking money out of savings.
When can we get this part?
22 weeks.
Minimum of 22 weeks lead time.
So does that mean you're going to have to continue doing what you're doing for that amount of time?
Yes, sir.
Right?
I got an extra pair of gloves if you want to come help.
I'm not afraid of something.
I'm not afraid.
Minimum of 22 weeks.
I ain't scared.
I make a motion to authorize expenditure in the amount of $138,732 to Haynes Equipment Company to replace the wastewater treatment plant fine screen escalator utilizing prior year surplus funds.
Second.
Sarah,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Autumn,
Yes, ma'am.
Justin.
Yes.
Sure do appreciate the savings that we have.
Hey,
Yes.
Bob, what time, can you call them, what time they open in the morning?
No idea.
We're
Why
gonna,
don't you come down and we'll call?
I will.
Spring
we're gonna
break.
get you on Babel tonight. We're gonna learn French.
The crazy thing is,
I
if
think
you,
they got the point of what I was wanting. I don't know.
Je m'appelle Chantal.
I don't.
I could just tell them my name, that's it. Well, I know one other word, but we're just stupid at that. Okay. Item agenda number 11, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve agreement with Oklahoma Rural Water Association to accept the rural infrastructure grant in the amount of $49,008 awarded to Perkins Public Works Authority for the purchase of a HX30G vacuum system with trailer at a state contract price of $61,260 from Ditch Witch of Oklahoma, with a $12,252 match to come from the City of Perkins American Rescue Plan Act funds.
Same.
I make a motion that we approve the agreement with the Oklahoma Rural Water Association, accept the RIG grant in the amount of $49,008, and that for the purchase of the HX30G vacuum system at a state contract price of $61,260 from Ditch Witch of Oklahoma, with the City of Perkins matching it $12,252 from the American Rescue Plan Act funds.
Second.
That was a mouthful.
Good job.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Autumn,
Yes, ma'am.
Jason,
yes.
Justin.
Yes.
12, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve purchase order number 2303029 to Ditch Witch of Oklahoma for the purchase of an HX30G vacuum system with the trailer, the hydrovac, in the amount of $49,008 to be reimbursed through the ORWA Rural Infrastructure Grant. So, we're just gonna,
This allows us to reflect in the budget that we're hoping to bring revenue and expense going
correct.
forward.
This is the purchase order, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry, never mind, just kidding.
It's to approve the purchase order on Public Works. Same. I mean, it's
Yeah,
redundant.
we did, okay. I make a motion to approve the purchase order number 2303029 to Ditch Witch of Oklahoma for the purchase of the hydrovac in the amount of $49,008 to be reimbursed through the ORWA Rural Infrastructure Grant.
I'll second.
Mayor,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Autumn,
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Number 13, consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve budget amendment for Public Works Administration revenue, Public Works Water 1 grant expense in the amount of $49,008 to increase prior year carryover forward to cover the expense of a hydrovac to be reimbursed by OWRA Rural Infrastructure Grant Funds.
What Rachel said.
I make a motion to approve budget amendment for Public Works Administration revenue, Public Works Water 1 grant expense in the amount of $49,008 to increase prior year carry forward to cover the expense of a hydrovac to be reimbursed by OWRA Rural Infrastructure Grant Funds.
Second.
Thanks for reading that.
Sarah?
You're welcome. Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
New business.
Yes. I was contacted by the EPA today, and we received a grant for $330,000 for sewer line replacement or sewer line related stuff. So it has a potential 20% match. We can apply through a waiver system, but I'll be working with the EPA through that process. And it stems from conversations we had with Senator Inhofe's office prior to him retiring.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Very impressive.
Yes. Do we
love money.
do we know when that might happen? What time?
Now, I have a webinar the end of this month, I think, March 29th or something. It's called What to Expect When You're Expecting. But it's really by the EPA. Is that true?
I think I read that
Can't
book.
even drink my Done.
Made me nervous when I opened.
I have no words.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Not either. So, do we just move to 15, Tammy? I make a motion that we adjourn the Perkins Public Works Authority meeting for March 14th, 2023.
I second.
Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Autumn? Yes. Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for being here. And
Yes.
everything that you guys are doing and everything that you'll do over the next 22 weeks.
Tell
very
tell your staff we said thank you.
I will.
Yes.
Maybe you should take some of those goodies with
And I volunteer
Yeah,
Jason.
yeah, take a tray of stuff
Please,
for him.
please take them.
Yeah, for the department.
you. You can get them tomorrow.
Take them for your people because the police officers want to.
They'll take everything else?
What?
What?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Dennis the barber made those.
There's cake
There's cake for you, Bob.
and brownies
And brownies.
and cookies.
I was waiting for a police joke.
And donuts.
I'll wait till Duncan opens up and then I'll make a police joke.
Substation.
You guys can have a new office. That wasn't my joke, that was his. Just repeating it. Okay. Let's resume the City of Perkins agenda. You need to take roll again, Rachel?
Do I need to take roll again?
We did.
So we're at 7:34.
Okay. Number 27, motion to enter executive session pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B.1 to discuss the employment, promotion, demotion, and/or discipline of the city manager contract. So, Bob, did you want to speak
You
before?
have to have a motion to enter the
Oh,
session.
sorry, thank you.
I make a motion to enter executive session pursuant to 25 OS 307B1 to discuss the employment, promotion, demotion, and/or disciplining of the city manager's contract.
Second it.
Sarah?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
If you'll indulge me, I want to push the buttons and double check that this is not
Yes,
being
ma'am.
broadcast.
Can I turn this off?
Yes, please. And we'll need everyone else.
Yes, ma'am.
to
Just want to make sure. Let's see, you did the one last time. Okay. We're good.
Item agenda number 28, motion to exit executive session and reconvene in open session.
Second.
I'm sorry, I must have made the motion.
I made the motion.
Mayor did, I'm sorry. Mayor?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes, ma'am.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Item agenda 29, consideration, discussion, and possible action as a result of executive session regarding the employment, promotion, demotion, and/or discipline of the city manager contract. This would be a no action. Number 30, new business. Under the Open Meeting Act, this agenda item is authorized only for matters not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting the agenda or any revised agenda. Action number 31, I make a motion that we adjourn March 14th, City of Perkins Commission meeting.
Would you like it, Autumn?
I couldn't hardly get it.
I think you should. I
Should,
you
I
should.
want to give it to
It's
you.
our last meeting.
I second.
I can hardly get it out.
Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Spencer, could you turn that off, please?
Oh, yeah.
Just push the same two buttons.